Yes, thanks for that, James. Good afternoon, everyone, and no question today, then, that in the San Siro Stadium, the flickering title aspirations of at least one of these two front-runners are now in real danger of being all but extinguished. That would certainly see the likely prospect for any loser this afternoon, should there be one. Although Milan's domination at the top is sure to be more seriously threatened in the final weeks of the season, when they do, of course, have to play all the other championship contenders. Well, Inter had been many people's choice to take over the balance of domestic power in Italy this season, but they haven't lived up to all the pre-season banner waving. Last week's 3-3 home draw with Cagliari, indicative of a topsy-turvy season for the Nerazzurri. Injuries to key players obviously haven't helped, but Ferri and Jonk are back now, with Bianchi on the bench, and only Schillaci and Berti of the regulars still missing. Trapazzani, Inter's promising young left-back, also sits this one out because of illness. Antonio Paganin replaces him in the Inter side. Well, the absence of Paul Gascoigne is a blow for us, of course, as well as Lazio. Life's never too predictable when Gaz is out on the field. But there is instead the exciting prospect to look forward to of Signori and the Croatian Boksic back together up front now that they're both free of injury. Defender Mauro Bonomi is also suspended, but Bacci returns after a ban, and Provero, the sweeper, has recovered from a slight knock. Inter in the stripes, of course, attacking the goal to our left, and this is Orlando. Not quite the last chance saloon, but certainly time is beginning to run out for two teams with coveted eyes on the treasured Scudetto. A draw won't really suffice today, with Milan currently 7 points clear of these two teams up at the top. Milan incidentally play tonight, they're away to Roma. In the other fixtures, the leading sides, Juventus joint second with Sampdoria, they're away to Reggiana. Sampdoria themselves at home to Udinese, and Parma are away to Torino. We'll, of course, keep you posted on the matches also being played this afternoon. Ray Wilkins, alongside me, your thoughts on the afternoon ahead?
Yes, good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, everybody. I think we're in for a thoroughly enjoyable afternoon. Obviously, the only black spot is the fact that Paul Gascoigne isn't playing. I was thoroughly looking forward to seeing Paul play. He's hit some great form, and he really has been a leader as far as Lazio are concerned. But we do have a couple of teams that really do know how to play a bit of soccer. Lazio, over the last couple of months, haven't really been travelling too well, letting in a lot of goals. Inter, on the other hand, have been scoring a lot. So let's hope we see a thoroughly entertaining game with lots of goal-mouth action.
Lazio playing with three up front, Casiraghi, Signori and Boksic, so it's an adventurous formation fielded by Dino Zoff. Fouzer wearing the number 2 shirt today, and I think his task will be to track Fontelan. Here's Fouzer now. This is Paganin with Favali, the number 3 in the Lazio side, the captain of the Italian under-21 team. Boksic. Just too long for Casiraghi. Now Fouzer. Arden Winter. Only 2 overseas players in the Lazio side. That's Negro there. The two foreigners. Arden Winter, of course, is one of them. And Boksic the other. Bergkamp protesting to the referee, who this afternoon is Luciano Lucci.
Interesting to look at the pitch, actually, Peter. Looks as if they've resurfaced the pitch. Earlier on in the season it was looking a bit of a shambles, and down the flanks it still does, but through the centre it appears that they have actually relayed a new surface, and that should assist Inter and Milan, who both use this stadium, and I think that's Casiraghi flat out there putting on the floor. He actually ran into Bergkamp. It was a little bit unfortunate that he had a foul given against him, but as I was saying, it should assist Milan and Inter to get the ball down and start to play a bit of soccer again.
They gather around 60% of the pitch has been resurfaced. Certainly there have been problems in recent times. Well, maybe there's going to be a problem here for Walter Zenga, the goalkeeper of Inter, who I'm sure will be anxious to impress with Luca Marcogiani at the other end. There again is the confrontation, Bergkamp and Casiraghi.
I think Bergkamp knew exactly what he was doing as well. That was a bit of cynical Italian defending, I think.
I was just referring there to Marchigiani, who of course is the number 2 now in the Italian national squad. Zenga, the former number 1. He feels himself he still should be, but of course Paliuca is the first choice of Arrigo Sacchi, the coach of the Italian national team.
They are very fortunate at the moment, Peter, the Italians. They do have a number of exceptional goalkeepers, and here's one of them. Zenga still is quite an outstanding performer.
Headed by Negro. This is Orlando, who'll be playing down the left side then for Inter this afternoon. Now Jonk, the Dutchman. Well, it's a very optimistic shot, but he has scored 3 times in the last 3 games, having only managed 1 earlier in the season, so his confidence is obviously high. Boksic, whose form has been so sharp since his move to Lazio from Marseille. A miscue then by Battistini. Signori, wispish figure, and very nearly able to profit then from some untidy defending by Inter.
Yes, I think Riccardo Ferri was picking up Boksic there, got a little bit too tight to him, and he was able to roll him, and he's got tremendous pace as Boksic, and that should be one of the highlights of the afternoon.
Signori with the corner. Casiraghi was lurking on the edge of the box. Just completed a 1-match ban. Now Battistini was almost in trouble then. He's so pacey, Boksic.
He looks a bit nervy, Ferri. He's only just come back into the side, and it was him who allowed the ball to go back through to Battistini, and he got a terrible bounce. But with the pace of Boksic, you've got to be very careful. You've got to clear your lines early.
Signori with the corner. Good claim, though, by Walter Zenga. Inter, who've got a really good record against Lazio in recent years. They've won the last 6 at home without conceding a goal. Oh, Bergkamp. Now, did he have a side-on goal then? Well, he was certainly tripped.
I'd hate to think he's going to send him off for that. No, he's only booking him, but Bergkamp was quite exceptional. He showed amazing pace, and he just nicked it, and it was very unfortunate that Bacci actually pulled him down, but it was just the fact that Bergkamp was a bit too quick for him. And there's Bergkamp, that's a shame. Bergkamp is actually trying to get him sent off, and that's a sad part of the game. We don't really want to see that. Here we see it again. Bacci makes the tackle, and in actual fact, he does actually lift his leg up and pull him down. So Bergkamp might have a case to answer. There you see it.
Yeah, he hooked his leg then, right?
He certainly did hook his leg, and really, Bergkamp was in on goal. But it's still not nice to see fellow professionals attempting to get someone sent off.
Now this man will fancy his chances from here. Ruben Sosa. He's absolutely lethal from long range. He has scored some spectacular goals from free kicks. Maybe he's not going to try, though, on this occasion. Jonk is there with him. And the referee is unhappy at the distance the wall has placed itself on. 2 of the players away from the wall now. Could be another caution here. Crivero in trouble. He's already been sent off a couple of times this season, Crivero.
Must be cold in Milan. He's got a roll neck sweater on as well, Peter.
Here is Sosa. Oh, it didn't fall kindly for him. Signori was in so quickly. Tigerish tackle. Or at least intervention rather than a tackle. Bergkamp. And Ruben Sosa will be very disappointed with the outcome of that. Just bobbled up for him, didn't it, really?
I don't think Jonk was actually expecting the ball, and it really was his first touch that's let him down. I think he just wanted him to touch it, and he was going to whip one of them really powerful drives that Sosa has in that left foot of his.
Fontelan is having a fine season for Inter. Now Sosa, faced by Bacci. Crivero to the rescue for Lazio. Winter, quickly confronted by Fontelan. Off goes Bergkamp. Now, has he lost the marking of Negro?
The great asset it is to have this electrifying pace that these guys have. There's old Bergkamp there for Inter, and there's Boksic for Lazio. They really are very, very quick players, and it must be a tremendous asset.
Boksic now. Down he tumbles. No question though of a penalty. The resolute defending of Bergkamp, the captain of Inter, just shielding him, shepherding him wide, and not enough space there for Boksic. But he has been a major success. 3 goals already for Lazio since his recent move to the club from Marseille. And he's been out for the last 2 injured, Boksic. Dino Zoff will be very disappointed that he can't have his 3-star men in the same lineup. Gascoigne missing the game today because of suspension. But he has Signori and Boksic up front. 2 accomplished goal scorers, and of course the strength of Casiraghi as well today. Neat tackle by the referee. He's penalised himself and given a free kick to Lazio.
That's called keeping up with play, Peter.
Yes. If in doubt, blow the whistle. Casiraghi. He would have expected to win left out with Boksic returning to the side, Casiraghi, but Dino Zoff has shown some enterprise and included all 3.
He does give him the alternative, Casiraghi. He's a tremendous header of the ball, more like a British centre-forward, a great timer and a great jumper and a really superb header of the ball. And when they're trying to play everything through the middle, it's nice to look up and just sling one of those crosses in.
There's Sosa.
It's a shame, actually, that Lazio can't keep more clean sheets, because going forward, they are really a force to be reckoned with. There's Fuser in the picture there. He normally plays wide on the right, attacking-wise, but I think he was quite right in saying that he would be back there to pick up Fontaine, who would be on the left side for Inter, Peter. But they are really are a force to be reckoned with going forward. But defensively, unfortunately, they keep letting lots of goals, and it's cost them badly this season.
Fontaine. Paganin. Fontaine again. Outmaneuvered though by Arend Winter. Ferry. This is Manicone. Plays in the anchor role for Inter. Or the filter role, as they call it in Italy. So much flows through him. News of the first goal of the afternoon, and it's good news for David Platt, who has scored for Sampdoria. Sampdoria at home to Udinese. Manicone. This is Paganin. I think they've switched him now to the left side, Paganin, with Orlando going over to the right. Paganin, who's a tough little competitor. Left out last week, but restored to the side today with the injury or the illness suffered by Tramezzani, the young player who had been occupying the left-back role. Here's Bergkamp. Now Battistini. Sosa. Good work by Di Matteo, who's been something of a revelation for Lazio since his move from the Swiss club Aarau back in the summer. Fuser. Too easy for Bergkamp.
Yeah, I think Bergkamp's gone on to Boksic now. He's going to mark him man for man and make it a bit tough for him, because he possibly is one of the best man-to-man markers in Italian football. There we see him once again having a tussle.
And the referee has penalised Boksic.
And you can already see that Boksic is getting a little bit tetchy with him as well. That was 6 of 1 and half a dozen of the other. That was a bit unfortunate that he got penalised. But he started having a go at the referee, and already Bergkamp's one up as far as that confrontation is concerned.
Now Ferry, who only returned recently after a long spell out through injury. An injury suffered back in February of last year. Pagani launching that long throw, laid off by Sosa, and good defending. Deep control by Negro, then Provero, Di Matteo. Here's Signori. Terrific pace by Signori. Well, he really does have an eye for goal. 9 in 11 Serie A appearances this season.
He's a lovely player to watch as well, isn't he? He picked the ball up and he only had one thing on his mind there. He was going to get a shot on goal, and we saw the goal he scored last week against Cremonese. It really was a thunderous shot from outside the box. He really has a good left foot.
He's to impact in that game from Signori, and he'll be particularly anxious to impress today against a club that discarded him as a 16-year-old. And they're regretting that one now. Fontaine, Bergkamp. Little burst of pace again. And good covering by Crivero.
Yeah, super tackle, but excellent football. And the ball has actually gone out for a goal kick, but now we can see Bergkamp did keep the ball in, and Crivero made an excellent tackle. But a very nice interchange of passing between Fontaine and Bergkamp. Nice patience was shown on the return pass from Fontaine.
Lazio's second visit to the San Siro, of course, in the league this season. They held Milan, the leaders, to a goalless draw. Marcagiani hoping to repeat that today, but there's...
I think that's
Casiraghi, yeah.
Yeah, he was struggling early on, Peter. He started limping, and no hesitation whatsoever, and they've taken him straight off.
And bringing on Massimo Marazzina, one of the young players coming up through the youth ranks, so that's a real setback for Lazio, just when they'd shown this adventurous approach too. He's 19 years old, Marazzina, and he's been on the bench for the last couple of games, and this is his first appearance in the senior side. My mistake, actually, it's Di Mauro who's come on. Got the wrong numbers there. Di Mauro. Boksic. So Di Mauro will slot into a midfield role. Boksic. Back off Ferry. Time here for Crivero. Di Mauro, who's been something of the forgotten man really at Lazio. He hasn't featured too often this season. Getting his chance earlier than expected today, with Casiraghi having gone off. Battistini. Here's Jonk. Now Orlando. Patient build up here by Inter. Battistini. Manicone. Paganin. Not the best of crosses though. Orlando trying to fetch it. And that was out of play, surely. No, the referee's signalled the throw. The linesman anyway has signalled the throw to Inter. Bergkamp. Policed by Negro. It's good work then by Bergkamp. And away by Bacci. Bergkamp. Orlando. And he's just taken it too far. Yes, it was over the line. Well, he's protesting. The linesman was absolutely right there. It had just gone out of play. Orlando, who's a great favourite of the Inter fans. He's such a hard-working player. And every team needs one, Ray.
They certainly do, and none come better than Orlando. He gets up and down whichever side he plays on. They've actually used him many times this season as a left back, and I think his favourite position is on the right-hand side, where he is today. But he really does work hard for the cause of the team, and that's vitally important.
Di Mauro, outsmarted though. And here's Manicone. Sosa, rather sloppy control from the Uruguayan. Bachi.
I think you can sense the frustration from the Inter supporters as well. There are a lot of groans flying around. Okay, there have been a number of unforced errors, but there are a lot of groans going about. And there's another one now, a big boo going up. And it's very unsettling for the lads out on the park.
Ferry to hoist it forward. Pagani, now Bergkamp released. Taking on Negro and Sosa. Well, it would have been a spectacular goal. Sudden swift break then by Pagani's pass, releasing Bergkamp, and Sosa on the end of the cross.
That was excellent football, wasn't it? Bergkamp did ever so well. I thought he might have gone at him and taken him on again. He had looked to have the legs of him, but it was a good ball in, and obviously on Sosa's wrong side, and he wasn't quite able to control the ball.
Most of his goals do come from his left foot, but he scored a stunner with his right last week. Pagani trying to link this time with Fontelan, and it's a foul by Vinter, who hasn't made quite the impact for Lazio this season as he did last. Nonetheless, he's proved an inspired buy for the Rome club. Sosa with the free kick. Agostini has come forward. He's always a threat on the set pieces. Out by Crivero. Now Boksic was under pressure then from those two defenders for Inter, Bergkamp and Ferry.
He was very cleverly impeded by Bergkamp. Bergkamp just blocked his run and made it easy for Ferry to tidy up. He really is an experienced old fox, is Bergkamp, and he body checked Boksic with no problem.
Yeah, they call it Zio, the uncle it means in Italy. It's mark of respect for the number of years he's been around at the top in the Italian game. Bergkamp, now 30 years old, and was playing in the World Cup finals as an 18-year-old back in '82 when Ray Wilkins was just a lad. Jonk. Bergkamp, oh, lovely turn. Di Mauro, though, back to dispossess him. Di Mauro, the former Fiorentina and Roma player, probably wondering if he's made the right move switching to Lazio, having had so few opportunities this season. He's actually an Italian international. Favali, there's Di Mauro.
Yeah, he is a really talented player, Peter Di Mauro, but as I was saying before, early on in the match, going forward, they do have some exceptional talent, and Di Mauro being, well, used to be an attacking midfield player, it becomes very difficult for him to get into that side when you think Thomas Dole doesn't even get a game. Now, I know he's been injured, but he's actually not figuring in the side.
Yes, he's injured again today, Thomas Dole. Came back last week as a substitute, but injured again. Manacone in search of Sosa. It wasn't the best of service, though. Crivero, cool and composed at the back for Lazio. One of the best sweepers in the Italian game. Manacone. Favali and Bergkamp. And that'll be a free kick to Inter, which will be the signal for Sosa to go across.
Can't get across there quick enough. Look at him, he's over there like a flash. This is well within his distance.
I think it's Negro there who also clashed with Bergkamp. He's a real handful, the Dutch international. Now, will Sosa try one from here? Maybe Bergkamp is asking the same question. Certainly Marcagiani is in the Lazio goal. The world's most expensive goalkeeper. The referee is still making sure the wall is the requisite distance back. It's certainly within range for Sosa, such as his explosive shooting.
Oh, Jonk's done well there. He's moved the ball forward about 2 yards while the referee's pushing the wall back, and it becomes even more Sosa sort of range.
It's Sosa now, and he certainly let fly. Lazio defence stood its ground. Crivero. Ready. This is Pagani with Manacone. Signori have increased increase their lead with a second goal against Udinese, and it's Jugovic with a penalty. And he is the 5th man to take a penalty for Sampdoria this season. Haven't been too successful from the spot kicks. They've managed 6 out of 11.
It's a lot of penalties to miss, isn't it?
I was going to say, I hope it doesn't cost them the title.
My word, that is a lot of penalties to miss.
Ray Wilkins, of course, hasn't missed a penalty this season, but then he hasn't taken one either.
No, we leave ours in the very capable hands of Clive Wilson. Superb left foot, and he scored another nice one yesterday.
Sosa, just past Bergkamp, who was hovering on the edge of the 6-yard box.
It's a brilliant effort, wasn't it? He was very, very sharp, and it was more of I think it was more of an effort to get the ball back across the box as it was to actually score. But a very, very good effort.
Just harping back to what you were saying, I was lucky enough to watch Queen's Park Rangers yesterday. Did you go, Ray?
Yes, I did go. Yes, it was. I thought it was a good game, actually. I think that the true winners were the supporters. I think it was an excellent game of football.
It was actually. It was a real cracker. And you did all right, sir. 25 minutes gone in the first half in the Lazio. No goals as yet. 1 or 2 half chances. Here's Signori up towards Boksic. Now Di Mauro, Boksic again, appealing for offside, but there's no flag. And how quickly then he was surrounded by a whole posse of Inter defenders.
You saw the talent there of Di Mauro. That was a wonderful pass. He was looking one way, passed it the other way, and left Boksic all on his own. And he took so long in which to get it down and have a shot. He should have done it in 2 touches. Trapped it and banged it. Di Mauro that was top class play from Di Mauro.
Manicone. Dangerous ball in for Sosa! Oh, magnificent goal!
My goodness, what a fantastic goal. I was just about to say I thought he should have headed that because it looked as if it was going wide, but he's up on the volley, and that really is a wonderful exhibition of volley, and that was superb. Here we see Manicone on the ball looking up. It's a great pass. Sosa pulls off the shoulder of the defender, and he's up in the air like a flash. Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic stuff.
Well, that's incredible awareness by Ruben Sosa.
It's a brilliant goal.
Didn't give it a second thought, did he?
My goodness. The technique was fantastic. He had one very similar on his right side earlier when Bergkamp slipped him over the top. But look at the shape that he makes here. This is fantastic striking. That really is a great goal. We wouldn't have seen many better goals than that this year. Great pass, great movement from Sosa, and a superb finish. And the man actually looks quite delighted about it as well.
His 13th goal in Serie A this season. Joint top scorer, along with Fonseca and Salenzi. And, well, that has to go down as one of the best he's scored, surely. That's a fantastic goal. Malcolm McDonald, you'd have been proud of that one, wouldn't you?
Go for it, and gave him no chance. And so Sosa saw that the defender was never going to get it and was able to take up the perfect position and knew from the time the ball left Manicone exactly what he was going to do with it. It was a dream of a goal.
Certainly was. Crivero now for Lazio. Inter leading by 1-0. Ruben Sosa. This, of course, against his former club. The leading scorer for 4 seasons. Lazio.
It just goes to show the class of the man, Peter, doesn't it? He's doing it year in, year out, and that, he really is a class act. That was a great goal. But we needed that goal as well to bring the game out a bit. Lazio were quite happy to sit there and just hope that Boksic and Signori could do something up front. But now they've got to come out and do something.
Bergkamp! Well, he stuffed his shot, having lost the defenders, and he'll be very disappointed there that he couldn't finish it off.
He rather rushed it for Bergkamp. He did exceptionally well to pull it down. It was a lovely first touch, but he rather rushed his volley. I thought he might have taken it on once more and given the goalkeeper Marcogiani no chance.
Maganin. This is Scotland. Manicone. Stadium still buzzing with that strike by Ruben Sosa. Goal scorer extraordinaire. Here's another one, Signori. The poor pass though in search of Boksic. Di Mauro. He didn't find him either. Actually, interception by Bergkamp.
We do talk a hell of a lot, and I talk a hell of a lot about forward players on this programme, via the way they make their runs and what have you, and the goal scoring that they're capable of doing. But defensively, if you look at the likes of Bergkamp, defensively he's absolutely brilliant. He's made up his mind that he's going to mark Boksic, and Boksic really hasn't had a sniff since he's decided to do so. And it just goes to show the level of concentration that he has to pick up a guy like Boksic.
Di Matteo. Manicone in first then. Inter, who certainly had their struggles at home. It was very, very late on that they came back to earn that 3-3 draw last week. Injury time when Fontanet struck for the first time this season. Long kick upfield by Zenga. Bergkamp was underneath it. He got clattered in the process.
It's a bad decision from the referee. Both players were going for the ball. Both players had their feet up, and he gives it to the attacking team. I can't really see the sense of that. It was a good jump from Bergkamp, got up nice and early, and then he gets a nice header in the back of the head there from Negro. This is the foul that the ref gives. I can't really see why that was a foul.
So both players needing attention with half an hour gone, and no doubt about the highlights so far. The goal from Ruben Sosa.
He's actually on the ball here, Peter. You can barely see the penalty box on the screen there, and Sosa's lining up a shot from ball. That must be over 35 yards.
Certainly more for Dino Zoff to be concerned about. That was Sosa's first goal, incidentally, for Inter against Lazio. And he's got his mindset on another one now. Again, Jonk is there with him. The coach of Inter, very much under pressure. The word is, if Inter lost today, then his job would be on the line. He says he's going at the end of the season anyway. It's like that in Italy.
Yes, it's a pretty precarious old job for the managers out there. It's Dino Zoff several times has been told that he hasn't got a job, and it must be very difficult for these guys to concentrate on doing their work when they know the axe is hanging over their head.
Orlando's header on. This is Bacci.
They seem a bit void of ideas, Lazio, at the moment, especially in the middle of the park. They don't really have a lot going for them at the moment, and Inter are definitely bossing the match. How they wish that Paul Gascoigne was playing.
Jonk. Sampdoria are certainly bossing the match at home to Udinese. Jugovic has scored again. They're now 3 up. And it's Torino 0, Parma 1. A goal from Apolloni, his first ever in Serie A. Parma right up there among the leaders. In 4th place. 5 points behind Milan, who play tonight against Roma. Ruben Sosa. Maganin. Looking on, Fuser. He's done well here. And Bergkamp. Well, he was sharp, but the finishing not sharp enough.
It is amazing what a goal does. You can actually see the confidence oozing out of Inter at the moment. It was a great ball forward from Ferry, great control from Sosa, and the move just flourished from there, and that was unlucky. Bergkamp taking it on his left side, which isn't his strongest side, and just lifting it over the top. But you really can see that they are playing with a different level of confidence now, and they're well into the match now.
Fuser rather hopefully in search of Favali. There's Boksic now. They've kept him relatively subdued so far. Nothing on there for Favali.
The great thing in Boksic's favour is that pace, though, Peter. He only needs one sniff and he's off like a rabbit, and it'll be very difficult to contain him if he gets on one of those runs.
Ferry. Well, Fontanet let it run. He thought Paganini or Manicone was behind him. Not so. But Inter beginning to dominate now, and they have the early goal, the strike from Ruben Sosa, as reward for their efforts. It's against a Lazio side who've had just the 2 away wins so far this season, at Lecce and Napoli. Jonk with the throw. Stini being invited to come forward. Inter away, going as far as Manicone. Stick by Signori. Fontalan, Sosa, was all very tight then. Sosa. Sosa getting back at Paganin. Riding the tackle then of Sosa. Di Mauro. Fuser. Ferry's clearance. Bergkamp just getting the touch on. But nowhere near Ruben Sosa. Favalli. One of the contenders for a place in the Italian World Cup squad, Favalli, as cover for Maldini. That was his run there. Very promising young defender, Favalli.
Yeah, he's a very talented player, Peter, and always he defends very well. That's what I like about him. He's a good defender, and I think when we talk about defenders, everybody seems to talk about a good defender going forward, but first and foremost his function is to defend, and he defends well, and he does have the added ability to get forward in the finish.
Signori with the free kick then for Lazio. Negro making his way forward as the referee decides how far that wall has to go back. Agostini headed clear. Knocked out now by Ferry. Interman through and through, Ricardo Ferry, a one-club man. As he underlined last week when he showed his frustration at the team being behind, and then when they finally equalised in the dying seconds, he kicked the goalpost, kicked the advertising hoardings in celebration. Di Matteo, promising run curtailed by a foul from Paganin. Tough, competitive defender, Paganin. And he's done so well in the absence of Ferry, then left out last week, but now getting his place back with Trapattani out, and 1 or 2 other injuries, of course, in the side.
It's a great bonus, though, Peter, for Inter to have Ferry back. He really is one of the top defenders in Italian football and has been for the last number of years.
Fuser, Agostini and Bergkamp couldn't reach it, but no matter anyway.
Boksic took a nice little nudge in the back as he was about to take off. I think it was our friend Bergkamp that was very close to him, and he looked a bit disgusted as the ball ran out of play. Well, that's what it's all about in Italian football. They defend doggedly and make it very tough for these superstar forwards.
Sosa wriggling past the tackles. Orlando quickly closed down though by Favalli. Manicone. This is Ferry. Manicone made it look so easy. Jonk. Couldn't get away from initially Di Mauro. Paganin fighting back at Negro. Manicone. Well, to keep that in play. Battistini then to Ferry. That's elegantly played by Ferry. Sosa. Now Bergkamp. Orlando. Tripped though by Favalli.
Yeah, Paganini took, I think, a kick in the face as he challenged Negro for one ball, and there we see the foul. But Paganini's been attended to, but I think it was an accident from Negro as they both stood for the ball. But they do seem to have a different stride about them now, Inter. They're moving the ball nicely. Everybody seems very confident on the ball, and they look a different outfit from the team we saw in the first 10 minutes.
Yes, there's Paganini. Caught by Negro, and it's a nasty boot in the face.
Well, it was caught, wasn't it? Not very pleasant.
Malcolm McDonald, your thoughts on what you've seen so far? Inter looking as if they're getting on top now.
Yeah, Inter very much are on top. The goal has changed the whole complexion of the game. Prior to the goal, there's not a lot of confidence in Ferry, and Battistini he's not having the best of times at the moment, and so they were dropping off too far, giving an awful lot of space in midfield. Now, of course, the goal has changed all of that, and everybody in Inter's busy.
It's Sosa's free kick off the bar. Well, Bergkamp's header just catching the top of the crossbar. Good climb then by the captain. That's how close he was.
It was a good jump, Peter, wasn't it? But excellent ball in there from Sosa. And I think that's what they've got to be very careful about, Lazio, because these guys can stick the ball on a tanner, and Sosa's got a great left foot, and he can put it where he wants, and it was an excellent service into the box.
And Ray will explain what a tanner is for our younger viewers at half-time.
Yes, sorry, a sixpence. An old sixpence.
That's another yellow card. Orlando this time. It's the third of the first half. Inter's first. Bit of retribution there for the foul by family earlier, I would think. Certainly Lazio finding Inter very hard to break down. For all the pace of Boksic up front and Signori. Sosa's goal still dividing the two teams. And what a goal it was. Good jump by Fontelan. Fuser. Negro is Favali. Signori, Paganini was right on his shirt tail, too close for the referee's liking. And for Signori's come to that. This referee, incidentally, is the man who sent off Paul Gascoigne last season, so perhaps it's just as well he's not playing. Boksic, Signori rather trying to make progress, and he was brought down. This is only a few yards outside the penalty box. They're all having a go at him there.
Well, I don't think they can really complain about that, Peter. He's in full flight, and, bearing down on that penalty box once again, and Fontelan made a bit of a rash old challenge. But this is a dangerous old position, this, for Inter. The Signori does have what Sosa has, and that is a super left foot.
Fuser as well will maybe fancy a crack from here.
It's a shame to see Fuser playing in this defensive role. He really has delighted us over the years with his attacking play down the right-hand side. It's a bit of a shame that we've not really seen him get forward too much.
Fuser so strong with his right foot. Signori so lethal with his left. Which will it be? Here's the answer. Fuser! Great save by Walter Zenga. Well, no wonder Sosa's applauding as Zenga protects his team lead in the most spectacular fashion.
He liked that, Zenga, didn't he? He was quite chuffed with that save. It's a good free kick from Fuser. And there's old Zenga. Great concentration. Not really been involved in the game, and he took that very well. Did exceptionally well then.
Acrobatic save by Walter Zenga. Signori will take the corner. And they are certainly missing the aerial threat of Casiraghi. Now Vinto has had a quiet first half. Maniconi. And the free kick goes goes Inter's way. The defender there was Winter. Ferry's free kick as we near half-time. Bergkamp penalised this time. Menacing figure up front for Inter, Bergkamp. Inter with the bulk of possession in the first half. Fuser. Winter's pass, now Fuser, can he get a cross in from here?
Great stuff, wasn't it? He did ever so well there, Fuser. Good 1-2 with Winter. He got on the end of it, but the cross was just a bit too powerful. But that's what we like to see from Fuser, getting forward and getting those crosses in. Really is an exciting player.
Spread wide by Jonk. To Pagani. Now Manicone. Former Udinese player who helped to transform Inter's season. They had that marvellous run towards the end of the last campaign. And much of that was to do with the arrival of Manicone, who's turned into a key player for them. A very intelligent player with his distribution and his hard running. Sosa. We're now into time added on for injuries at the end of the first half. Fuser. Winter. Now Boksic. Ray, your summary of the first half?
I've enjoyed it, Peter. I think obviously Inter have had the better of the game. We've seen a classic goal from Ruben Sosa, and it has been not too bad a game. And I just hope that we see a little bit more from an attacking force from Lazio in the second half. They're going to have to pick their game up to beat this Inter team.
Now Bergkamp. Marco Gianni spreads himself well, and he needed to there.
Another super through ball though, Peter, wasn't it? Great through ball again. Onto it like a flash, and Marco Gianni standing up very well to Bergkamp.
Suddenly sprung into attack then Inter, exploiting the speed up front of Bergkamp. Sosa with the corner. Maybe the last action of the first half. Anastini couldn't reach it, but here's Fontalan. Now Orlando. Fontalan. Manicone. And a foul on Signori. Fuser. Di Matteo. Winter. He's got Favali outside him. But no one through the centre, at least not for that kind of ball. Signori looking very frustrated.
They're very frustrated. They've not really had that good a service, have they, the two front boys? And they are a bit frustrated. Winter really hasn't got in the game. He is a talented guy, Winter, and we've seen him play some great football. But he's not really been involved at all in the match in the first half.
Laid off by Signori to Fuser. Fontalan with the tackle. Winter trying to release Signori. Good cross in. Boksic arrives. And the referee says no penalty. Difficult to see from that, Ray.
It's very difficult to see, Peter. Yeah, the ball comes in and there's our man Bergkamp with him again, and really to have given a penalty would have been a wrong decision. It was a clash of two players, and Bergkamp's marking him so tightly, he just didn't give him that yard that he needed to get the first header in. I would say it was a great cross from Signori, but excellent defending on Bergkamp's part.
Bergkamp is so aware of the threat that Boksic poses. Sosa. Free kick to Inter. No, it's the half-time whistle. So the first half honours go to Inter, thanks to that memorable goal from Ruben Sosa. Dino Zoff's team with some replanning to do for the second half. They really hadn't created too much damage at the other end, although there was that one outstanding save by Walter Zenga. from the free kick by Fuser. Inter leading then at half-time by 1-0. We'll be back with all the other news after the break.
Okay, well, Lazio got some fighting back to do. Let's see what they can manage in the second half with our commentators Ray Wilkins and Peter Brackley.
Thank you, James. Lazio indeed kicking off. Now attacking the goal to our left as it's flicked on there by Di Mauro, on as a first-half substitute for Casiraghi. So Lazio had some reshuffling to do, and they haven't really looked that dangerous coming forward. There's Battistini to whack it upfield towards Bergkamp. Winter. Now Favalli. Signori, easily out-jumped though by Battistini. Not the strongest of players in the air, Signori. His danger is on the ground, of course. Misunderstanding there. Sosa's misplaced back pass. Fuser whipping over the cross towards Boksic. And there was Ferri. Crivero. Always looks so comfortable on the ball, Crivero. Favalli. Manacone was in the way. Fouled then surely by Fontelan. The referee allowing play to go on with Di Matteo in possession. And then finding Fuser. This is Paganin taking the throw then for Inter. Bergkamp. Rather sloppy play by Lazio. Bergkamp again so quickly off the mark. In comes Orlando, and Favalli safely back to his goalkeeper, Luca Marchigiani. Here's Crivero. Slipping it on towards Winter. The covering defender was Bergkamp. Your man of the first half, Ray.
Yes, definitely, Peter. Yeah, we were discussing that in the half-time interval. I think he's defended magnificently well, and there we saw him reading the game exceptionally well and cutting off the pass to Winter. He really has performed very well indeed, and I think when you watch him play, you can see how important he feels that this victory will be for his Inter side.
And he suffered the rare occurrence earlier in the season of being left out, Bergkamp, a bit. That hasn't happened too often.
I wouldn't have thought so, no. He really has been one of the mainstays in the Inter side.
Boksic. Di Matteo. Now Fuser. Well, he certainly got hold of it. But no more than that. Fuser hasn't scored for quite a few games now.
Nice to see him up there, though, Peter, having the opportunity to have a pop. We didn't see him up there much in the first half, and he really is an exciting lad when he gets forward, and it would be nice for him to score against Inter Milan, being an ex-Milan player, so that's an added incentive for him. But it does appear that Zoff had a few words with his guys at half-time. They do appear to have come out slightly livelier in the second half. Crivero looking to get forward on any occasion.
They certainly need to get Fuser in attacking positions. Here's Boksic. Fuser, who had his problems with injuries earlier in the season, but those seem to be behind him now. That's good anticipation by Paganin. Sosa. Goal to treasure from him in the first half. Against the club that discarded him. Paganin. Fontelan having a shot tucked by Di Matteo. Bergkamp. Flicked up well then to Fontelan. Now Paganin. Bergkamp is still deep. Sosa. And back off Fuser. Another goal for Sampdoria. Roberto Mancini has scored the fourth at home to Udinese, so they look like heading for a victory to keep up the pressure at the top on Milan. Maganin with the throw, out by Crivero. Vinter, released by Maniconi. Crivero. Di Mauro. Look how tight then Bergkamp was on Boksic. And the tackle from Orlando was rash and late and penalised.
It looked a bad tackle actually, Peter. It looks as if it was quite high, but yeah, he got him with his left foot instead of his right. He had two goes at him. Bergkamp is very, very tight on him, but Boksic is now working very hard to try and get away from him, which he wasn't doing in the first half.
Almost did then. Maniconi. A rare mistake by him.
What a terrible bobble though, Peter, on that bad bit of turf there. He was just about to play it down the line, and the thing just sat up in front of him, and it was difficult for him to control it.
Vinter turning away from Orlando. Bergkamp with the header away. Here's Vinter again. Needs to impose himself in the second half, Vinter, if Lazio are to get something out of this game. Crivero. Again, fine anticipation. Di Matteo to Signori. And he was just confronted in time then by Orlando to deny him a shot at goal.
He did well there, Orlando. He's playing wide on the right, but he got himself tucked in very nicely in the midfield. Made a timely interception.
Bergkamp onto Jonk. Bergkamp. Bergkamp. Udinese have pulled one back against Sampdoria. Pizzi, but it's 4-1 to David Platt's team. He was one of the early scorers. Now Sosa has got Bergkamp up in support. As Lazio regroup at the back, Paganin got a foot in. And a free kick given to Lazio, taken quickly by Marchigiani. Fuser. Di Mauro. This is Bacci. Now Boksic riding the tackle of Bergkamp. And watched all the way carefully by Waterzenga.
Rather snatched at, Peter. I think he was a bit surprised he actually got away from Bergkamp for the first time, and he rather snatched at his shot. I was a bit surprised with Ruben Sosa. He found himself in the penalty box, 1-against-1, and decided to come out of it. If he stays in the box, it's very difficult for defenders to make tackles. They have to stand up and be very patient. Once he's out of the box, they can tackle him at will. And I was a bit surprised that Sosa actually came out of it.
Jonk. Paganin. Now Fontalan finding some space for himself. Negro with a header out. And the free kick given. Foul by Aaron Vinter on Orlando.
I think we can safely say there's only going to be one guy that's going to be taking this bit. I thought it was a little bit unfortunate, really, that to have been given a foul. Vinter was only trying to clear it, and there was a tangle of legs. I think that's about it. And, they find themselves in a very precarious situation here, because this chap really does take these free kicks exceptionally well.
Jonk alongside Ruben Sosa, but he's the man on the set piece from long range. It's Ruben Sosa. Marchigiani will be a worried man in the Lazio goal. Sosa straight into the wall. Sighs of relief among the Lazio players, I'm sure. Paganin, looked like a foul there. Sosa immediately trots over to organise it all. Fontalan, the player who was upended, and it's going to be another caution. Montenegro this time. Young man from Brescia, who's had his injury worries this season. Missed a lot of games early on, but hoping now to hold down a regular spot in the Lazio side. Sosa's free kick. Vinter quickly confronted by Maniconi, and unfairly. Orlando, Maniconi. Spotted the run of Sosa, who was onside. Still Sosa. Got a second chance. No. Whistle's gone in favour of Lazio. Di Mauro almost outsmarted then by Jonk. Lecce, the bottom club, have scored. Russo making it 1-0 at home to Piacenza. Poor old Lecce in all sorts of trouble down at the foot of the table. Well, that's the way of it at the San Siro. A slender lead for Inter. But Lazio not really looking like finding an equaliser at this stage. Ferri. Sosa. Jonk. No, Di Mauro is there for Lazio. Feeding Fuser, and he was careless in his passing. No time really for anyone to dwell on the ball, really.
I think it sums Lazio up as well, but they are a bit sloppy. They're passing and really hasn't been up to standard, and they're giving the ball away when really not under too much pressure. And Fuser just summed it up there on the right-hand side with an atrocious pass, really.
You can't help wondering what difference Paul Gascoigne would have made today. He was in excellent form in the home win last week. Here's Bergkamp now. Just too many defenders for him, though, and he was going nowhere. Maniconi. Fontelan. Waved on by the referee. Here's Jonk. Looking for the run of Fontelan.
Great tracking from Aaron Vinter. He tracked him from the middle of the field and got in a great header there. That was good defensive play from Vinter.
Boksic. Inevitably, Bergkamp was with him. Fuser now. Touched off by Di Matteo. Rather tentatively, though. More goals in the Luigi Ferrara Stadium. It's now Sampdoria 5, Udinese 2. Amoruso for Sampdoria, and Desideri, the former Inter player, for Udinese. Whistle's gone again. Free kick to Inter.
Yeah, we see some good build-up play there from Lazio, but again, there's no end product. Walter Zenga really has been quite redundant this afternoon, and he's not really had too much to do at all. And that just about sums it up for Lazio. They get up to that box, but don't get any end product, which is what it's all about.
But Inter certainly won't be feeling one goal is enough. They've had too many setbacks this season to allow complacency to slip in again. Beaten at home by Milan and by Atalanta. That was a real shock. Maniconi for Sosa and Orlando, who hasn't scored this season and won't do so with shooting like that.
There's a lovely little ball down from Sosa again. Sosa's really been involved in all of the efforts that Inter have had, and he chested it down lovely into Orlando's path. I think it was on his old swinger as well, Peter, which didn't really help, and it's over the top. But unless Lazio actually pick their own game up, they're not really going to cause Inter any problems at all. Fuser just seems quite content to sit on that right side without getting forward too much. We saw him burst into action just a minute ago, but he should be doing that a lot more often and getting there and and threatening the Inter goal mouth.
The match between Cremonese and Atalanta is firing up in the second half. 3 players sent off. Cremonese down to 10 men, Atalanta down to 9, but no goals. Sounds eventful, right?
Sounds a great game, doesn't it? They're playing 5-a-side at the moment.
Di Matteo for Lazio. They need some inspiration from somewhere. Really haven't got going in the second half. Didn't create too much in the first either. Certainly once Casiraghi had gone off, their options seem rather limited. Rather silly tackle then by Vinter to bring down Manicone.
He was defending the ball well, Manicone. He got himself in between Vinter and the ball, and that was good play on his behalf.
Now Sosa. I think he'd shoot from a goal kick, this fellow.
Well, we always say we can't believe the distances they shoot from, but this guy actually scores from these sort of distances, doesn't he? It's an unbelievable distance.
It was going through like a bullet then. Oh, rocketed through.
And it's only 2 steps, Peter. He doesn't even have a run up at it, and his timing of the ball must be so exceptional that he gets all that, he generates all that power. It's unreal. Look, the little wry grin on his face as well. Wonderful striker of the ball. That was unlucky.
Well, Signori's been saying this week that who would have thought I would allow Lazio fans to forget him so quickly. I'm not sure they have, really, and certainly not today after his goal. Signori saying he was a hard act to follow, Sosa, but I've scored almost as many goals as he managed in 4 seasons at Lazio. Well, that's a fair comment. Signori has been in such consistent goal-scoring form.
Does he play the trumpet, Peter? Signori, my word. You know, Sosa really has been an exceptional talent and a great player for Lazio when they never really had a very good side.
It's Signori with the corner. A test for Zenga, and he was equal to it, albeit at full stretch. Another corner. Signori without too many sniffs at goal in this game today. Such has been the attentive defending of Inter. Here's Signori's corner. Far too easy though for Zenga this time. Sosa. Definitely done. Orlando. Checked by Favali illegally.
Great play from Sosa there, wasn't it? The ball's coming out of the air, must be like hundreds of foot up in the air. He kills it with one touch. And I think he's back-heeled the ball more than he's actually passed it with a normal part of the foot today. But he really has a great awareness of people around him, and he's been a pleasure to watch today, Sosa.
Malcolm McDonald, it's hard to see at this stage Lazio getting back into this. They're not hearing us at the moment. We'll try again in a moment to get the views of Malcolm McDonald, who now resides in Milan. Watching this game from another part of the ground today. Sosa. Di Mauro. Now Vinter for Lazio. Can they get something going here? Boksic. Laid off by Jonk. Manicone. And the flag was up for offside. Hoots of derision around the stadium from the Inter fans. Malcolm, can you hear me now okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Just saying about Lazio and what chance they had of getting back into this at the moment. Doesn't really look that way, does it?
It doesn't look that way at all, no. They had a bright start, but have become quite disorganised. Inter, after a few minutes of the start of the second half, they sat back in front of their defence, just soaked up the pressure from Lazio and allowed Lazio's bad passing just to give them the ball. And then they've started to steadily come out and now are looking far, far more the dangerous side.
Thanks, Malcolm. More from you later on. There's Negro with the clearance. Who's there under pressure? Negro. Approaching the halfway point in the second half. Ruben Sosa's goal still dividing the two teams. That goal on 25 minutes. Manicone in the engine room for Inter.
He's had a very good game, Peter, hasn't he? You took him as your player of the first half, and he has had an exceptional match. And what I'd like to see, in actual fact, him play alongside Shalimov. I think him and Jonk appear to be two similar players, Manicone and Jonk. And Shalimov would give you another dimension getting forward into the box.
Boksic, Signori, he's in the box now. Favali. Boksic didn't make any contact as the ball came over. But there was danger there for Inter.
There certainly was. It's what I was talking about earlier. He got himself into the box and players were terrified to get near him and tackle him. And he was unlucky not to create something there.
Boksic, no. Inter coming away with it through Manicone. Now Sosa. Asking an awful lot of Bergkamp. Rivero, very experienced defender. Negro. Yes, you were talking there about Shalimov, who seems to be out of favour, which certainly surprised us.
Yeah, he really has been a good player for Inter and scores lots of goals. And from the middle of the field, obviously it's vitally important to score goals from the middle of the park.
Now Orlando came back off Di Matteo. Free header then for Favali. Bergkamp. Another hard, uncompromising game at the back from Bergkamp. Favali. My word, Manicone has covered some ground for Inter this afternoon.
Very aware in the middle of the field. Nice little interceptions. Been good on the ball as well.
Boksic. Has support from Fuser. Boksic. Pass Fontaine. Now can he get his cross in from here? Still Boksic. Orlando was cool. Oh. Well, they almost let Lazio in then into good perseverance by Boksic. And composure from Orlando under some pressure at the back. Bergkamp.
Yes, he did exceptionally well, Boksic, Peter, didn't he? It was a good little ball across the box, and you quite rightly said Orlando was very, very calm and what must have been immense pressure.
Crivero. Lazio's spirits may be lifted a little now. Favali. Di Matteo. Here's Di Mauro to Fuser. Into the path of Favali. Signori, Crivero taking over and tumble right on the edge of the box, and the referee's given it outside.
My goodness, that was close. Crivero obviously took a dive. A bit like Brian Phelps there was Crivero. There he gets on the end of it, just toes it past, nothing else on his mind but to go down. And the free kick's been given, very dangerous. But that was the only time, I think, in the whole game that we've seen constant pressure from Lazio. They had Inter penned back there without getting any crosses or shots in, but they had them penned back there. They've got to get into that half and make Inter defend and defend for their lives.
Ray showing there his depth of sporting knowledge by remembering Brian Phelps. Well, there's that the last one you can remember.
Right, yeah.
Well done. Now, will it be Signori, I wonder? Boksic hovering around the wall. Fuser They also try one. Di Matteo, there's 3 options open for Lazio. It's going to be Fusero by the looks of things. A lot of gesticulating.
Chaos down there at the moment, isn't it? Everybody's looking to block the ball, and he's probably picked out somebody that hasn't booked before. It's Battistini. He's booked everybody on the pitch except for Battistini, I think. And
yeah, the latest yellow card pointed at Battistini. Still chaos remains. Oh, now Fusero. Well, they weren't 10 yards back.
well, they weren't 10 yards back, but I think that was inevitable, Peter. That it just went on for so long that that was going to be the outcome.
I think they were 10 inches back. Free kick to Lazio. As tempers flare.
Wasn't a foul, was it?
Didn't look in, but the referee was right on the scene. And he thought it was. Signori curling it over tantalizingly, but beyond those Lazio players coming in. But Inter's lead looking a little less secure now. Di Matteo. Too long for Signori. Here's Bergkamp. Orlando. Jonk was lucky to find him again. Maniconi. On by Jonk. Service to Bergkamp hasn't been good, though, in the second half. Fusero. Boksic. This time it's Ferry who's with him. Excellent pass then by Boksic. Fusero. Just forced wide by Battistini. Corner then to Lazio.
Been a tough old afternoon for Boksic, hasn't it? He's had Bergkamp inside his shorts all afternoon, and now Bergkamp's having a rest. Ferry's gone over there and picking him up too, possibly the best man-to-man markers in Italian football.
Signori.
It's a compliment to him, really.
Sixth corner for Lazio. This is Favali taking the throw. Time for Di Matteo. Signori lost control though. There's Maniconi again working so hard. Still Signori, and he almost got through. Battistini away. These are difficult moments for Inter. Crivero to plant it back in again. Boksic with the header. Two players going for the same ball. They've got away with it. Di Mauro. Flying header this time from Battistini. But a promising spell this for Lazio. Without really extending Wolfenzenga.
They do look a bit panicky, though, until when they do put them under a little bit of pressure. And when you've got the likes of Signori breaking into the box, it's very difficult to make tackles and not give away penalties. And that's got to be the thing that they're going to be very worried about.
Sosa in towards Jonk. Fontelan riding the tackle. Sosa. Inter's turn to probe now. Bergkamp. He wanted too long. No, the free kick's given.
No, that's rubbish. That's an awful decision. Absolutely dreadful. And here's our man again, Ruben Sosa. Jonk actually fancies it, but he's not going to. I don't think he's going to have much of a chance to take it off of Sosa. It's an atrocious decision. The lads have defended well against him. They haven't dived in. They're waiting for the opportunity to win the ball, and the referee punishes them.
Magnoli looking on and hoping that Sosa can increase the lead. There's Sosa's drive, and even he gets it wrong sometimes. Sampdoria are certainly getting it right this afternoon. They're now leading 6 goals to 2. home to Udinese, Mancini, and it's another penalty. Jugovic having scored from the spot earlier, and now Mancini has been successful as well. Fifteen minutes left. Jonk. We're defending by Di Mauro. This is Di Matteo. On for Favali. Di Matteo. In back off Paganin. Bergkamp's header on, finding Sosa. Now here's the counter-attack launched by Jonk. Bergkamp. Sosa's upfield and Paganin on the far side as well. So joined by Fontelan. Jonk. Orlando. Looking for Fontelan towards Bergkamp. Sosa! Left foot, right foot, doesn't matter.
He's been very lively, Peter, hasn't he? That was a great effort on his swing. A right old grin from him, and he was a bit unlucky there. He really caught it well on the half volley. That was a great effort.
Negro with the header out, and Sosa, well, he didn't even think about it, did he?
I suppose when you're on form like he is, Peter, you'll have a go from anywhere, really. Either foot, it doesn't really matter. He really is performing to a very high standard.
Mauro. I thought you were going to have a shot at goal yesterday, but then the game kicked off.
I'd have got a nosebleed if I'd have got out that far. Good stuff.
Boksic. Prepared to take them on to electrifying pace by Boksic. And Winter's header well off the target. But what a run there.
That was fantastic, wasn't it? That's what we talked about in the first half, that dynamic pace. And we've got someone, I think it's Battistini down with a cut head, I think. Is it not? Or is it? No, it's Manicone.
Yeah.
He was chasing, they were just left in the wake of Boksic there. It was a great run. Unfortunately, Winter couldn't get a true header. It was slightly behind him, and that was unfortunate, but that really was class running. And you saw the frustration of Ferry again there, kicking the hoardings. He was very disappointed that he couldn't get with him. I don't think there's too many defenders in the world who get with Boksic once he's on a run.
Well, it was lightning pace by Boksic. He also had Signori up in support, who turned away in frustration. Good run by Winter to find himself in that position. But he couldn't find the target. Napoli have now equalised at home to Genoa. It's 1-1. Di Canio with a penalty. Fonseca isn't playing today, incidentally, he's suspended. And it was Van Schip who gave Genoa the lead earlier on. Fontelan for Inter. Sosa's made the run through the middle, but to no avail, as Inter choose another route to goal. Battistini. Bergkamp. This is Paganin. Fontelan trying to shake off Fuser. Playing in a much more advanced role these days, Fontelan for Inter, having started the season as a left back. Much more successful in a forward role. Sosa even taking the throw-ins. Can't score from that. Winter, that was careless. Pagani. Orlando with a cross.
I think Malcolm made a very good point earlier on. Inter aren't actually having to do anything to win the ball back. Lazio are just giving it to them, and they really have been pretty sloppy in some of their passing.
10 minutes left. Inter 1, Lazio 0. Bergkamp. No problem for Marco Gianni. And look at the anticipation again there of Bergkamp. On by Jonk. Sosa! It should have been.
Great pass from Jonk. Tremendous pass from him. And we can see the state of the pitch there. It's not the best part of the pitch that the ball landed on, but that is a great pass. Good first touch from Sosa. Second one just let him down. Just having a stretch too far for him.
But for a player of his calibre, he would have expected to score then, and will be very disappointed that he didn't. And might have been made to pay for it too. Bergkamp to the rescue right at the last then, with Boksic behind him.
Yeah, I think Zenga realising that he perhaps should have come out for that. Looking a tired man now, Bergkamp.
Well, he's bound to be having Boksic to chase all afternoon. Signori with the corner. Zenga rather untidily away. Di Mauro! Oh, it hit the post. And away to safety.
Oh, two great pieces of action. An excellent corner kick there from Signori, which had Zenga fumbling the ball. And as it came out, Di Mauro, it's a cracking shot that hits the bar. My word, what a good shot. Zenga was nowhere near it.
So I thought it was on the angle of post and bar, but I think it was just the crossbar that it struck, to the relief of Walter Zenga. And he's got a goal kick out of it as well.
It just goes to show they have put Inter under a little bit of pressure, and they are there for taking. They are there for the taking of a goal, and that's just got to keep pressing, keep getting up there and getting that ball in the box.
Sosa. Cluster of defenders after him. Still they can't deny him a route to go. Jonk slipped on to Orlando, but he slipped it too far. All rather wasted.
It was all rather wasted, and it was poor defending really from Lazio. There are three guys around Sosa and allowed him to get out of a tiny little spot which really wasn't there and really shouldn't have been on. And taking no credit away from Sosa, he did well, but they shouldn't have allowed him to do so.
Boksic. Now Signori, Crovero, Di Matteo. Confronted by Orlando. And the referee waving play on. Winter, something of a let-off then for Inter. Sosa. Lazio posing a question or two now. Boksic. Again, that's glorious skill. Well, he's some player, Ray.
He really is some player when they give him that time and space.
What about this?
Yeah, that was the penalty earlier on. I don't honestly know. I don't even know whether he'd have caught the ball, but getting back to Boksic, he really does look an exciting player. He's gone and taken up a right wing post, which has enabled him just that little bit of freedom away from Bergkamp and Freddy, and that's where he's creating all the problems. He's very, very strong, and he should have done a little bit better with this as well. He made a great bit of space for him, and perhaps should have got that on target, making Zenga pull off a save or even putting it in the back of the net.
Sosa. Free kick to Inter. Malcolm McDonald, you don't normally agree with us on penalties. What did you think of that one?
I thought it was the worst attempt I've ever seen to try and get a penalty. It was an awful dive, and the ball was nowhere near, and really the defender was nowhere near either. It was a terrible attempt to try and salvage a point out of the game.
So you had no clear view either way then, okay. Bit of controversy on the show. Winter. On by Crovero. Sosa. Danger threatening again. Boksic. He's given the penalty.
hate to say it, but I think this referee was always liable to do something like that. They're obviously not very happy, and they might have a point. We'll probably see the rerun of that and see what the situation is. It's a lovely little floated ball into him. Battistini's arms were all over him, but it's not going to take much for a centre-forward to go down in that situation. It's an excellent ball from Fuzera into him. Missing out Ferry, plonks it straight on his chest, and you know, that's the great thing about our game. Opinions, everybody's got their own opinion, and I personally would have given a penalty, seeing Battistini's arms all over him.
Inter's opinions are pretty harsh here. Absolutely incensed.
Had so much of the game as well, haven't they? It's really, Lazio really haven't been in it as far as an attacking force is concerned, but now they could find themselves straight back in the game. We could see Signori's technique as well, Peter, from the penalty spot. His little 2 steps and a blast.
Well, no one has shown themselves yet.
I don't think anyone fancies it.
Signori has the ball, and Signori is going to take the kick. Nerves of steel he'll need here.
There's a neat little technique, only a couple of steps away, and rather lashes the ball.
4 minutes left. I've just listened to the whistles of the Inter fans trying to put him off. Signori trying to retain his composure, and well, the referee not happy where the ball was.
I think Signori's complaining that there's a bit of a dip in the penalty spot, and he doesn't really want to be kicking it out of a dip.
Well, can he keep his nerve amidst the bedlam in the stadium and the pressure of the occasion? Signori scores! 1-1.
Fantastic penalty kick. Really did whack it in with the inside of the foot. It's a strange old technique he uses, but it seems very successful for him. There we go. Just a couple of steps and whips it into the far corner, giving Zenga no chance whatsoever.
Well, he guessed correctly, Zenga. It wasn't all that far away, but it was perfectly placed then by Giuseppe Signori. 10 goals in 12 games in Serie A this season. He's missed a few because of injury.
The first piece of quality that Lazio actually got into the box in the whole game. That was a great little ball in from Cruiser, and it just goes to show you get a little bit of quality, what you can get on the end of it, and the penalty resulted in that.
Bergkamp with a header, safely dealt with by Marchigiani. A lot of disgruntled fans in the stadium now, the Inter fans, that is. The coach's job, we were told, would go if they lost today. Maybe they will. Here's Victor. Well, it was half a chance that he created for himself.
Wonderful piece of skill, Pete. Yeah, wonderful piece of skill, wasn't it? He made a great run to get on the end of the ball, flicked it over Battistini, and could even have taken it on by the looks of it. He elected for the volley, but it wasn't to be, not today anyway.
Inter 1, Lazio 1. Two teams who really need to win today to maintain their championship challenge. Level on points before the start of play, but 7 behind Milan, who play tonight. There's Signori, Fuzera. That bobbled very unkindly.
Yes, it did, but it's quite evident that when Fuzera does get up there and he starts getting on the ball, that Lazio do look quite dangerous.
Di Matteo on by Orlando. Here's Jonk. Now Sosa. And I wonder now, are Inter going to be left to rue the chances they've missed earlier on? Maybe not that many clear-cut chances, but certainly opportunities.
Certainly opportunities, Peter. Yeah, they have had a few, and they really should have put this game way beyond the reach of Lazio earlier on in the game. unfortunately, when you are one in front, you do run the risk of something happening, and it has happened in the shape of that penalty.
Bergkamp to Orlando. Manaconi, Bergkamp again. Di Mauro. We're now into injury time. Boksic to Signori. Almost deceived the inter-defenders. Jonk. Boksic with Winter. Favali. In goes Signori, just whisked away then from Fontelan. Di Matteo, good strike! A sensation. Lazio have taken the lead with seconds to go. Di Matteo, what a strike.
My goodness, it's always the way, isn't it? They haven't really been in the game at all. Di Matteo hits it, and it just bounces right in front of Zenga, and he can't get to the pitch of the ball. And there it is, in the back of the net. A very difficult ball for goalkeepers to have to take. We've just had a shot out of nothing, all of 30 yards, and there it is in the back of the net.
Di Matteo with only his third goal for Lazio this season. And what a vital one for them. Into injury time with the goal.
At half-time, Peter, you wouldn't have given them a chance, would you? They were lifeless. They just didn't look as if they were interested in the match. And now here we find them in the last minutes going 2-1 in front. Unbelievable.
And if the word beforehand is right, the coach Bagnoli is on his way out of Inter. Signori. What a turnaround. Still Signori, now Winter. Lazio will be anxious to keep it at this end of the field. Maybe even find another goal. Boksic. Who's there?
What did someone once say? It's a funny old game. Well, this game really has been a funny one, Peter, isn't it? Lazio really haven't been in the match, and they find themselves 2-1 in front. It's quite extraordinary.
And the frustration of the Inter fans has turned into anger.
It's very sad that the game should reflect upon Bagnoli. Inter have had the majority of the game, and for a man to lose his job after performing relatively well, as Inter have done, it's quite sad, I think.
But the stakes are so high, Ray. They have to retain their championship drive, and that's not going to happen, is it now?
No, it's not going to happen. No, they've got to watch themselves. They won't even qualify for Europe, and that would be very sad as far as Inter are concerned.
Well, they're still persevering. Here's Jonk.
I think that was the prime example of a one-footed player there. Jonk actually came onto it with his left foot with no conviction at all, really, and it really did look an old swinger there from Jonk.
Bergkamp, they still might save it. Marcagiani beats it away. Lazio haven't won here in Serie A since 1957. They're going to put the record straight today unless Inter can snatch it right at the last. Deep into time added on, but there is the final whistle. Down go the Inter heads, and they can't believe that this has happened. Lazio celebrate, winning by 2-1 with those late goals. Signori from the penalty spot, then Di Matteo in injury time. Amazing transformation, Ray.
Yeah, incredible stuff. At half-time, we wouldn't really have given them a chance. I thought in the first 5-10 minutes of the second half, they came out and were going to have a go, Lazio. But then they sunk back into their old ways. The passing was, at times, atrocious. They were giving the ball away needlessly. But they clawed themselves back. They got themselves the penalty, got back into it. And then Di Matteo just had that shot from 30-odd yards, which was very difficult for Zenga. But looking back at it, he'll be disappointed that he didn't save it. And there we see some quite jubilant Lazio supporters there. You know, considering Lazio have conceded lots of goals away from home just recently, that's a good victory for them.
Well, let's reflect on the highlights of the match. First of all, the goal that looked to have sent Inter on their way, scored by Ruben Sosa.